Nearly half of Americans over 55 have nothing saved for retirement. Nothing. If you have got no savings in your 60s, or you are already retired and the money is tight, you already know the feeling. Here's the good news: it's not game over. In the next few minutes, 5 real ways to rebuild your finances, starting from wherever you are standing right now. Tip 5 is the one that changed my own retirement. Stick with me. Maybe you worked for years, paid into the system, and figured Social Security would carry you. Maybe life had other plans: a layoff, a divorce, a medical bill that wiped out what you had. However, it happened. Having no savings in your 60s is more common than most people admit. Nobody brings it up at the dinner table, but the numbers don't lie. Millions of retirees start this chapter with close to nothing in the bank. So before we get to the money, there's one thing we need to fix first, and it's not in your wallet. People who have made it through retirement with little to no savings didn't do it by beating themselves up. Let's be straight. Going in without a nest egg isn't idle. Nobody's telling you it is, but the guilt: I should have saved more, I should have started sooner, that doesn't put the dollar back in your pocket. Regret is dead weight. Set it down. What matters now is what you do with today. And today we start with the simplest habit of all. Tip number 1, and the most obvious one, I would say: save. If you're still years off from retirement, save. Plain and simple. But if you're already past 60, the strategy has to change. Open a separate account. Call it your rainy day fund, your cushion, whatever keeps you honest. Set up an automatic deposit, even if it's just as small as $100 a month. That's 1,200 a year plus interest. Over 5 years, that's 6,000 or more without touching your day-to-day budget. It won't undo decades without savings, but it builds a cushion between you and the next surprise bill. Speaking of surprise bills, there is one thing that can undo this progress faster than anything else. Tip number 2: eliminate debt. Debt is the fastest way to drain a fixed income. Start with credit cards. Say you are carrying $10,000 at 30% interest. That's 3,000 a year, or about 250 a month in interest only. That's more than double what you just committed to saving. Sit down with your bank. Ask about the personal loan at a lower rate, 10%, for example, and pay it off on a fixed schedule. Maybe 5 years. It's still a stretch on a pension check, but it has an end date. Credit card interest doesn't. And one promise to make yourself: don't run the balance back up. Now, does that mean cutting up the card for good? Not quite. Keep the card for everyday purchases, groceries, gas, bills, things already in your budget. Pay it off in full every month. No exceptions. Think of it less as a credit card, more as a payment card. Most cards also offer cash back or rewards. That's free money for spending you were already doing. Small, but it adds up. Once your finances are cleaned up, it's time to talk about bringing new money in. And this next part is where things get interesting. The old idea of retirement, clock out at 65, sit back, done, doesn't fit anymore for a few reasons. People are healthier later in life than any generation before. We are also living longer, which means more years to fill with something worthwhile. And thanks to the internet, opportunities that used to be out of reach are now one search away. None of this means going back to 9 to 5. It means adding income on your own terms. Here are 3 ways to do exactly that. The first one, tip number 3, investing. You don't need a finance degree or a big account to start. Look up beginner investing videos right here on YouTube. Learn the basics, what a stock is, what an index fund is, how compounding works. Start small with money you can afford to risk while you learn. You can do all of this from your kitchen table, on your own time, at your own pace. Investing used to be for Wall Street types. Now it's it for everyone with a laptop and a little patience. If picking stocks isn't your thing, that's another option, and it's becoming more common than you think. Tip number 4, continue working. Most people in their 60s today aren't ready to just stop. Compare that to 75 years ago when 65 really was old age. Medically, a 65-year-old today has more in common with a 35-year-old from that era than you would expect. Companies still push retirement at 65, mainly because of cost, salary, taxes, benefits. A long tenured employee adds up, but your experience is worth something they can't easily replace. That's why more companies now offer a deal. Retire from payroll, then come back as a consultant or freelancer. You collect your pension and you invoice them separately for your time. Both sides win. But if that door doesn't open for you, there's a better one. And it's my personal favorite. Tip number 5, start a business. You can retire from a job. You don't have to retire from what you know. Decades of experience, skills, know how, that's worth something to somebody right now. Start looking, and you will find people searching for exactly what you already know. For plenty of retirees, that side income ends up bigger than their pension check. That's the path I took at 62 when I started the Golden Age lifestyle, helping retirees find work that pays and matters. If that sounds like something for you, there's a link below in this description to the exact program I used to get started over a decade ago. No pressure. Is there if and when you want. So, where do you actually start? Let's break it. Watch the back once if you need to. Most people catch more the second time. Here's the short verse: clean up your finances first, savings, then debt. If you're still working, talk to your employer about a phased retirement. Then look at what you know and put it to work. Drop a comment which of these 5 hits closest to home for you right now. Share this with someone you know who is staring down retirement with no savings in their 60s. It might be exactly what they need to hear today. And if you would like to know more in detail how I started over after 62, watch the video coming up here somewhere on the screen. Take care, my friend. I'll see you in the next one.